You're listening to the Crew Talk Podcast, a conversation about chasing growth. All right, welcome back, y'all. This is Crew Talk episode 15. Got it right this time. Got a special guest, my boy Trent. We met at St. Aug probably about, 7 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Crazy, so, yeah, I'm going to let Trent talk about himself a little bit, let y'all get to know him a little bit, then we're going to get into it. So, yeah, Trent,
yeah, like you said. Yeah, like you said, my name's Trent. I went to St. Aug with my boy Tim. Graduated 2014. Then I went to St. John's University up in Queens, New York, and finished there in 4 years in 2018. And the year after, or immediately after I graduated, moved out to Australia for a year. So it's supposed to be like a gap year, like in between law school, but now going on my second gap year. So I don't know.
I feel you. I did 2 gap years too. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
How was the transition from New Orleans to New York?
New York, man, it was crazy at first, man, because New Orleans is like it's not necessarily a small city, but like compared to New York, like it's not even close to a big city. So it was different at first. Like it was super fast paced. But luckily, like I was out in Queens, so I wasn't right in the middle of like Manhattan where all like the craziness was. But yeah, it was still like a very difficult transition. You know what I mean? Like just being around people from like everywhere.
Yeah.
And like being in college and living on your own for the first time, like. But it was fun, man. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a challenge, but I think it helped me grow. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
So I had a couple of friends who went to Columbia who played football, and like they always talked about how like the traffic and like having to ride the subway like really affected like practice and stuff. Did you have to ride the subway much, or did you like live on campus?
I did. Well, I lived on campus my first 2 years, so but I would still like go to the city and stuff to like just explore.
Yeah.
So I would ride the subway pretty often. But then like my junior and senior year, I interned and worked in the city, like in Manhattan. So I was on the subway like every day, man. And that stuff, bro, that commute, man, that was like probably one of the worst parts about living in New York, man. Like being on that subway every day, bro, you like got to get up. And then like I lived like in Queens, which is like pretty much like at the end of it. Like, so it would take me like a good hour sometimes to get to work, bro. Like
it's a hike.
It was a packed train. Sometimes you can't even sit. You standing all like this. Like,
I visited a couple of times, and it's fun to like just chill. But if you have like someone you got to be on a certain time, the subway ain't it.
Yeah, it's tough, bro. You gotta like plan. Like if you gotta be there at 1, you gotta leave like a good hour and a half.
11, probably.
Yeah, because bro, like, and then that's like they'll have delays. Like you'll be on time and everything, and they'll just be like, "Up, train stuck." And it's just like, man, like, what am I supposed to do? But
what do you prefer New Orleans over New York? Or you feel like you haven't found the right place yet?
I don't know. I think New York. I like New York, bro. Like I'm actually about to move back to New York in January.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I like New York. I think New York's a good place. Like while you're young, I couldn't see myself like raising a family there or nothing like that. Like I couldn't. I don't want to live there like long term. But while you're young, man, and you have like that energy to just kind of go out and like get it and hustle and just keep up with the hustle and bustle of the city, it's a fun place, bro. Like, and then also like the thing about New York, once you get to when you're there for like extended period of time, and you learn all of like the little like smaller like areas to go to, because when you visit, you just kind of go like Times Square and like all like
the big places.
And then that stuff is like, it's cool like the first time, but then you're just like, all right, I don't need to like do this again. But like when you start finding the little like small pockets in the city where it's like just nothing but like locals and it's not too overpacked, bro, it's like it's a really fun place.
I feel the same way because my girlfriend, she lives there right now, and I just told her, I was like, long term, I don't ever see myself moving there, but I'll come visit you, or if I have to go to school there or something, but I need like a backyard. I need to drive my own car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want that space, man. You want a yard. You want to have a car, like you said, like all that stuff. So, yeah, it's not like a long term like place for me to live, but I think I might spend like the next 4-5 years there, maybe like max.
That's a lot of years, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
What you gonna be doing?
Well, I'm trying to figure that out right now. So,
Okay.
I was just telling you, me and Joe was talking about starting a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was going to be one of the things that we're going to try to get off the ground out there. Right now we're just looking for a place to live,
Okay.
and like to set up like a little podcast studio. And obviously that's not something we're going to be able to do full time, like right away.
Yeah.
So I just have to kind of,
Playing
have
around and
like a
just see what
little,
happens.
yeah, just
I
have
feel
like a
that.
little part-time job just to keep me going, something like that, and then just try to make it happen, bro. Cause
Real entrepreneurship, I feel like.
yeah, man,
I really want to talk about Vibes Krewe. I just changed the motto and it's chase growth. And last week I was talking to David, talking about he moved to Germany, and like
yeah,
it's
man.
been a huge like growing experience from like what prompted you to move to Australia, dude? Like I've never heard that before.
Yeah, man, that was crazy decision, but it's actually kind of a long like story.
Mm-hmm.
Like originally I went abroad like while I was in college, and I went to Europe for a semester, and like it was funny because I had like no interest in going abroad like at all.
Right.
But then one of my friends, he was going, and he was really just like, bro, like, you got to come with me. Like, I'm not trying to go out there by myself. And I was kind of like, I guess, like, I don't know. And then
Uh-huh.
I ended up actually getting like a scholarship to go. So I was like, all right, it's actually cheaper for me to go abroad than it would be to stay in Queens. So it's like,
That's
why
crazy.
not? Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like I literally just had to like cop the flight. Like that was it. And then just have like spending money like there.
Right.
So that's what really like prompted my interest in like travel. Cause like before that, I really had no interest in like going outside the country. Like I was like, what am I gonna eat? Like they don't speak English. Like that's weird. Like I'm not trying to be a part of that. But
Yeah.
man, like as soon as you get out there, bro, and you realize like America's not it. Like there's just so many other like cultures and like things to explore and like stuff to see. And
Yeah.
like Europe is real cool because like it's so old, bro. So like all the stuff that you hear about like in class or whatever, people talk about like the
Mm-hmm.
Eiffel Tower and the Coliseum and stuff, and you go out there and you really see it, and you like, man, this is real. Like,
Yeah.
like it's right there, like that stuff. So that was just like mind blowing to me, man. So that's kind of what like inspired that
You
like,
what was the scholarship? It was like a study abroad.
yeah, it was like a study abroad scholarship. I got it through St. John's. I'm actually not even really sure how I got it. Like I didn't apply for anything. They just like offered it to me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so then that was junior year of college, and that
Mm-hmm.
kind of flipped my whole perspective like on life.
Yeah.
Like really, like because before it was just like I was trying to I wanted to be a sports agent. Like I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just try to focus on this and just go hard at that. But then when I got back, like I was like, man, there's like so much more to life than just going to college and just working. Like
Yeah.
I want to see some stuff. Like I'm trying to, like I'm young, like I need to see a bunch of things before I really like get started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like you said it was the motto was like chasing growth.
Yeah.
Like it was like I wasn't like consciously like thinking like, oh yeah, I need to do this to like chase growth, but like in the process, like it just naturally helped me grow as a person, man. Like just getting exposed to all these different
Cultures and
cultures
different people.
and yeah, different people. Like I met some of my best friends abroad who I went to St. John's with and didn't even know them at St. John's, but because we went abroad together, we
Yeah.
became like really, really good friends. So yeah, man, that was what really like flipped that my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And then so after college, I had interned at a sports agency, realized I was like, man, this might not
This ain't
be
it.
what that ain't it, chief. I was like, that's not it. I guess when I realized like what they actually do like all day, every day, I was just kind of like, man, this is not really for me. So
Yeah.
I was really, really like lost and confused because like I said, that was the whole reason I was in college, to do that for 4 years. And then I found
Right.
out my fourth year, I don't really want to do this anymore.
They would
So
wait
then
till the last year to sneak up on
yeah,
you.
right, exactly. But I'm glad I peeped it like at the internship rather than like going to law school and then like getting all this debt and then figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like
That's that
so,
hurt.
yeah. So I'm glad it happened when it did, even though it was kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I graduated, man, and I was kind of everyone's like, oh, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And I was just kind of like, man, I'm about to go to Australia. Like everyone kind of thought that was like a crazy decision, which it kind of was, but it was like inspired. So My stepmom is actually Australian. Like she's
Okay.
from Melbourne, so she
All
was
right,
like,
it makes way more sense now. Just
yeah,
that one
yeah,
part.
it's not as random as it seems, but like it
Yeah.
still is random. She kind of just put the thought in my head, like she was just like, oh, you know, you can go out to Australia. They have like this visa. And I was supposed to actually get on as with the intern out there. There was like this in college. I did a project for like the sports company. It was like a sports psychology company, and what they do is they like analyze like your personality type and try to figure out what style like coaching like athletes respond to. So like some athletes need, they need to be yelled at and like really like forcibly, on some like military type like discipline, and then whereas others are more like, like don't really respond well to that. They need to be, a little bit more like, not coddled, that's not like the right word, but you know what I mean, like
Don't
gently
need the
handled.
aggressive energy.
Yeah, it don't need to be as aggressive. And then, they respond better to things like that. So I was emailing them and I was telling them like, yeah, I did a project using you guys' personality test in college, and they were like, oh, that's great. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming out to Australia and I wanted to like intern with y'all or like try to work for y'all. So we tried to set that up, and like it looked like it was gonna work. I got the visa. I don't think I had bought the flight yet at this point, but I had the visa already. And then it ended up falling through. And so I was like, dang, but I already got this visa to go. Like,
so you didn't need the job for the visa?
No, okay. So the visa they have it's called a working holiday visa.
Mm-hmm.
So it allows you to go there. You can stay for up to a year, and you can work and just like travel around. You're basically like an Australian citizen for a year. Like you work, you pay taxes.
My boy
like,
Trent is Australian now. Dude,
nah,
elevated.
Nah, bro. I was trying to find a wife out there, bro. Get that dual citizenship. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, bro. So I had the visa, and then I got like I was just kind of at home. Like I moved back home from New York. I moved out of my apartment, and then I was just kind of at home, just like not really knowing what to do. I already had this visa to go to Australia, so I was like, you know what? One day, literally, bro, it was just like, I'm gonna just buy a flight and just go see what happens.
But that's tough. I like energy like that.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So that's how it like happened, and then I just did it.
So when you get you buy the ticket, you land. Where do you go from there? You're just like, wow, hella kangaroos. Now what?
Yeah, yeah. I'm out here, man. They got the kangaroos, the crocodiles, all that stuff. Nah, yeah. So I get there, like I said. So my stepmom was Australian, so she hooked me up with like some of her people, like, which I didn't know. Obviously, I'd never met these people. Like, my dad remarried her, like I want to say like 2015. So it was like she's like relatively recent, like in my life. Like I don't know her side of the family at all.
Yeah.
So, but we set it up like on Facebook and stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, you can come to our house and, we'll, cook for you and stuff. So I went to their house at first, and, they kind of, introduced me to Australia. We had some food. I stayed there for a few nights.
That's gotta be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it was like at first, man, it was weird, bro. Like
it's new people. There's already like a cultural barrier, but then like you're expected to like get along with them because like they're technically family.
Yeah, it's like it's family who I've never even met or like even knew like existed before, like 3 months ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, so yeah, it was definitely like kind of weird at first, but it was cool, man. They were great people, man. They showed me around. They had some like some kid, like they had a son like that. It's like close to my age. I think he was like 20. I was like 22 at the time. So I was only like 2 years older than him. So we got along pretty cool. Like he was showing me around and stuff. And then I ended up just checking into a hostel. Like I stayed there for maybe like 2-3 days, and then I just moved into a hostel. And then which is like, it's basically like a hotel, but it's like you share a room with like a bunch of people.
It's like the backpacker style, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a backpacker style thing.
What city are you in?
Oh, I was in Melbourne. Yeah.
Okay.
Melbourne. So like down at the bottom, like,
which
is the best city in Australia, by the way. People always want to say Sydney. Nah, it's Melbourne.
All right.
Yeah, just had to throw that in there.
Repping his new city.
Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I checked into the hostel. Yeah, and just like met a bunch of people, man. I was meeting people from like everywhere. Like the funny thing about Australia, bro, is like nobody's from Australia.
Wow.
Like I mean, there's like Australian citizens there, but like the people that obviously traveling, who I was
Mhm.
kind of hanging around with because I was traveling,
Yeah.
they were all like English and like German, uh, French,
European people.
like from all over, bro. Like European, just random places, bro. Like
Mm.
China, I met people from China. Um, so this was like new because now I'm in a whole different country with a whole different culture around other people from completely different cultures from the one that we even in.
Yeah.
So it's like it was cool because it was just like a mix of like everything, man. And I was like one of the only Americans, like American people, just especially like American Black people, bro. We don't
Yeah.
be like traveling like that,
At
like on
all.
that like backpacker type stuff, bro. So I was like, one of like the only like American. I think I did meet like one or two other Americans, but for the most part, bro, it was like um, all like European people, bro. Like I was hanging out with like a lot of English guys,
Yeah.
German people.
Did
So it was
you
cool, bro.
when you moved out there? Did you just take like a few things? Did you like really pack up your life for a year?
Yeah, I took like some stuff. I had like mostly clothes. Um, yeah, I had like my laptop, just like the essentials, nothing
Yeah.
like too crazy. I didn't bring like my PS4 or nothing like that. Like
I
just
feel you.
just things like I would need. Um, and yeah, so when I first got there, man, like I saved up a little money, and like I was like I could just live off this for a minute, but like Australia's like really expensive,
Oh,
bro.
really?
Yeah, it's crazy. But our dollar's worth more though, so like you end up getting,
Hmm.
like I think I forgot exactly what it was, but it's like not quite double, but like a little bit less. Like if you give like $1, you'll probably get like $1.75 back, like Australian, something like that.
Not too bad.
So like so I had money saved up, and so it lasted a minute. Because when I first got there, bro, like it was just like I was just going out, like eating out every night,
Having a
just like
blast.
having fun, bro, having a good grand old time for like 3 weeks. And I'm checking my account, like yo, like
Still going.
I gotta chill out. I'm like, man, I was balling like 2 weeks ago. What happened? So I had to start like looking for work at that point because I was like, man,
Right.
I'm about to go broke. I'm about to have to go right back to New Orleans. So yeah, I found some work like through people at the hostel.
Hmm.
Put me on. And I was just doing like random jobs, bro. Like I think my first job there, I was like working on this dude's boat. he was like,
He was a deckhand, like the boat assistant person.
nah, like I wasn't like on the boat, like on the on the water, like he wasn't on the seas. It was like on a dock,
Oh,
and he was like, I need.
he
He
was.
said he need. Yeah, no, I wasn't like first mate out there,
Oh,
like
I thought, oh, that's tough. That's a
yo.
great story.
Yeah, no. I mean, I ain't about bro. I'm too scared of the ocean for that.
I feel you.
That stuff is crazy. No, I was like just like working on it, like fixing it, like, and
Okay.
I had no type of like skills like that, bro. But they was like, yeah, man, we didn't need people to like come sand it and stuff. So I was like, all right, I could figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
But also another thing about Australia is like it's like a socialist like government.
Mhm.
So they pay like really, really well. Like I think minimum wage out there is like $22 an hour. Like they really like
What?
bro, that was my face, bro. When they told me that, I was like,
Jeez.
22? That's the minimum?
I
Like,
feel like everyone has like a regular job. Like that'd be
yeah,
perfectly fine.
yeah, then that's exactly how it is. Like the middle class there is like really like good. Like
Yeah.
you can make a lot of money there. And then they have like all these different types of like rules. Like if you work on a Saturday, you have to make like I think like $30 an hour is like the minimum, or like 25 or something like that. Like it goes up, and if you work after like 5 p.m., then it goes up. Like there's like all these rules to it, to where like if you have to work anytime outside of like Monday to Friday,
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5, like you have to the pay goes up because it's like, oh, I got to come in on a Saturday. All right, now I got to make $30 an hour. Oh, if it's coming in on a Sunday, man, it goes up to like 45. Like it's crazy, bro. So
They love their people.
yeah, man, maybe but the taxes also are a lot higher too,
Mm.
because it's socialist. So you pay it back, but you don't have to worry about like medical care or anything like that. Like,
Okay, yeah.
I think like colleges out there are free, or I think like the public like universities are free for like citizens. They have like private schools which you can obviously pay for, but yeah, man. So So I was making like really good money, like on this little boat, bro. Just sanding that thing down. I was like chilling, bro.
Yeah.
So I made like a decent amount of money doing that, and then I ended up getting like something a little bit more like stable. Like I was working in a call center, um, which was not fun, but like whatever. It was cool. It allowed me to stay in Australia, so like I wasn't complaining.
Yeah.
Like I was working for like it was this company called Star Trek, which is basically it's like their UPS.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
people calling me like, "Yo, my package is lost." I'm just like, "Bro, I don't know what to tell you, brother, man. Like,
it's gone.
It's gone, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I was actually like a customer service person for that. But it was cool because I was able to do that, and like I had another thing with Australia. They have if you work full time, they give you like 6 weeks paid vacation. That's just like the minimum. Like they have to give you that.
Yeah.
So I was able to take a lot of time and like do some traveling up the coast. Like I went to Sydney, I went up to like Brisbane. I did this place called like the Grampians. So I was able to travel all around Australia. I went to the Philippines. Like,
Damn, this
so
dude really went all over. I'm jealous.
Yeah, bro. It was a fun year, bro.
What was what was the best memory that you had throughout the whole year?
Best memory. I don't know. Man, the Grampians, so they have this national park in Australia. It's called the Grampians. It's like this huge mountain range out in Victoria. It's about maybe about 2.5, 3 hour drive from Melbourne,
Okay.
where I was. And me and some friends went out there and we camped. This was like my first time ever camping. Like I had never done it.
Right.
And like we out in Australia, bro. And I'm like, bro, you know what type of animals they have in Australia? Like I'm not trying
Australia
to
has like the highest concentration of like deadly animals.
Yeah, bro. Bro, it was crazy, man. Because they have like the most poisonous snake in the world, or one of the most poisonous snakes in the world, lives in Australia, and they got like I think there's like 12 like deadly poisonous snakes, and it's like 6 of them or like 7 of them are all in Australia,
Hey,
and I'm just like, man,
this don't seem like the best memory yet.
Yeah, nah, but that's the thing. This is beforehand. I'm like, man, this stuff. I don't know if I really want to go camping out here. But it's also like I came all the way to Australia. Like I'm not just trying to stay in the city the whole time. Like I could have stayed in America to do that. So yeah, we went out there camping. And the thing about the wildlife is though, bro, you don't even see it. Like I saw a bunch of kangaroos. Like I saw mad kangaroos, but like with the like snakes, I didn't see one snake.
Wow.
But I saw like one huge spider, bro. That thing.
I already know what you're talking about.
Bro, them huntsmans, bro. I saw. I think I was ready to come home, man. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm good. This is all I needed to see. But even I only saw like a few of those.
Yeah.
But apparently those things are everywhere, so I kind of got lucky that I didn't see more. But yeah. Anyway, back to the camping trip. So we go out there, and it's this huge mountain range, man, and it's just like these crazy views. We stayed up like one night, and like the stars, bro. Like I'd never seen so many stars. Like it was so dark out there.
Mm-hmm.
I had my camera too. Like I had copped a camera before going and kind of just started like getting into photography a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I had like my camera and I was taking like all these pictures of like the sky. And bro, I've never seen so many stars like in my life, bro. It was like one of the coolest things ever, bro. So that was like a really fun memory. And then also like towards the end of it, this is probably like the real favorite memory, but it's like not. It really kind of has nothing to do with Australia. It's other than the fact that it just happened in Australia. But Boss, like the rapper Boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like on J. Cole's label. So he came down to Australia and performed, and like he did this one song that like J. Cole's on, but obviously J. Cole wasn't there, and he was like, "Yo, I need someone to like rap J. Cole's verse," and then bro, it's a funny story because this is like low key racist, but like it kind of worked out in my favor. Like I'm like the only black dude at the show, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we need someone to come rap J. Cole's verse," and all of a sudden, all the white people around me looking like, "He got it, he can do it." like he got it, bro.
Damn.
I'm like, what y'all mean? Like, what? Why y'all think I can do this? But I did it, bro. So I hopped up on stage, bro, and I did the verse. And like, got to party with like him after we was like VIP, like in the club and everything, bro.
Damn.
So
So
that was like my favorite.
my dude went to Australia and became friends with Boz. That's lit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this was
bro.
like a huge performance, or like it was one of the
Uh,
smaller venues.
no, it was like a little festival. It was probably maybe 1,000 people, like right around 1,000 people were there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, bro. It was a
That's
lot,
what's
but it
up.
wasn't like this huge like arena. But like,
Okay.
yeah, but there was a lot of people there.
What do you think the biggest, I guess, cultural shock that you experienced was?
Biggest cultural shock. Um,
I don't really know too much about like Australian culture. I kind of
yeah, I didn't really know too much about it either. I kind of just thought like, oh, they got kangaroos and they play games.
yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny because like there's very similar to America, man. Like they're like culturally they're very like influenced by America. Like they like a lot of our like huge artists, and they have like
Hmm.
their own artists.
Yeah.
Um, we could tell like very American like inspired. Like they have like this like their own like Australian rap, which I really wasn't the biggest fan of, but they have it.
I bet you it sounds
But
so different.
yeah, because bro, the accent, man, it just don't work, bro. Like when you're trying to rap and you're talking about, mate, yeah, mate. I was like, nah, bro, that ain't it. But but nah, man, culture difference, man. It was just like they focus a lot. They put a lot more emphasis on like quality of life. Like I know in America, it's more like you just gotta work, you gotta hustle, you gotta grind, you gotta make this money. Like
Yeah.
it's just nonstop like that. Whereas Australia, a lot of people, they put an emphasis on getting out into nature, going to the beach, surfing, like, doing things that you really
Yeah.
just feel good doing. You know what I mean? You're
Hmm.
not doing it to make money. You're not even doing it to necessarily like get better at it. You're just doing it because you just like doing it. And they give you a lot of time off to travel and go like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Um,
I like
yeah,
that. I might have to go to
yeah, it's
Australia.
cool. Yeah, bro, it's cool, man. They have like a totally different mindset, man. Especially like when you go up north, like to those little like surfing areas. Cause like Melbourne is just like a city. Like Melbourne is just kind of like it's like New York. It's like a smaller New York.
Yeah.
But when you go out into like there's this place called like Byron Bay, which is like up on the East Coast. Um, and it's like a surfing town, and a lot of people just kind of go there and just kind of hang out on the beach. You go surfing, you go
Hmm.
hiking. There's like mountains and stuff up there. And a lot of people would like do that. Um, and yeah, man, it's just like they really care about like your well being. They have like a lot of like holidays, um, and then like you get paid. Like it's crazy, man. Like if you have to work like on a holiday, like your pay is double, bro. So it's like some obviously because there's stuff that needs to get done.
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, like if it's outside of like a day you're supposed to be off or like a day where you should be chilling, if you have to go to work, bro, like they pay you so much more. So it's
I feel
like,
like I saw some video and they were talking about like the happy index for like different countries. I feel like Australia's happy index is probably hella high.
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, Australian people, man, they're always in good mood, bro. Like cracking jokes. They're funny, bro. They're so funny.
That's
Like
what's
they'll
up.
say some low key like wild stuff sometimes, but like it's funny. Like it's not from like it's like no malicious intent. Like
Uh-huh.
it's just all comedy, bro. So like um that's what I liked about it, man. The people are there are like they're really like carefree, man, about just like chasing money and all that.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's rare, especially for like a developed country like that,
Yeah.
where there are like really big cities and big businesses and things like that. They really have they do a good job. Australians do a good job of like balancing it. You know what I
I
mean?
feel
It's
like that
like
mentality is like a very like Southeast Asian kind of like where like it's more
hmm
rural and people don't make as much money. But
yeah,
that's interesting to know
yeah,
that.
yeah. And that's the weird thing because like I went to the Philippines too, and I also got that even more so there from there. But it was interesting because like I said, these people like they're meeting like relative like not rich, but like they straight financially,
Yeah.
and they still put that emphasis on time off, traveling, surfing. Like surfing is really really big out there, bro. That's like
Yeah.
especially like in like Sydney or like these little cities like on the coast, bro. It's like that's all they want to do is surf.
I want to learn how to surf too. I don't even know if I
Yeah,
can.
yeah, bro. What's crazy? I didn't even try it the whole time I was there, and I was like, that's like
Dang.
one of the things. Like I'm like, dang, bro. I don't know how I didn't do that.
When I
Um,
went to Thailand, I tried it. Shit was
Oh yeah.
terrible. I couldn't even stand up. It's like I was just like bodyboarding the whole time.
I'm done. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. I that's like one of the things I'm like, bro. I need to go back and do.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why I didn't do it. Well, actually, there's one place I was gonna try it, but they had like a typhoon, which is like a hurricane, but it just, they call it typhoons there. And so like the guy, like, when I talked to the dude, he was like, "Have you ever surfed before?" And I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Oh, if you go out there now, you're probably gonna drown." I was like, "Oh,
oh, this not the time to learn."
Yeah, this not the time to learn. So I just like waited a couple weeks, and then like, cause there was like the water was really rough because they had that typhoon, so like the waves are really big. So all like the good surfers, this was the time they've been waiting for. But it was tight just watching them, bro. Like they had like this little hill you could climb up on and like see them all out there, bro. And that stuff was crazy to watch.
Yeah.
It looks hella fun, but I didn't do it.
My last question is, so taking the year off and going to Australia, the person you are now, like what kind of advice would you give yourself before you went to St. John's?
Before I went to St. John's, so like just graduated high school, me.
Yeah. What would you tell that Trent?
I would tell that Trent to, man, follow your mind, man, your vision, like the ideas you have. You know what I mean? You don't have to. I don't need to do things to impress other people or to make other people happy. Just explore the things that I enjoy doing, the things that make me happy, the things that inspire me. Just really go in and focus on those and develop those, and don't worry too much about money like right away, because if you follow your heart and your vision and all that, man, the money's gonna come, bro. Like you can make money doing anything. There's professional skateboarders out here, bro, like making millions. There's professional gamers out here making millions, bro. That wasn't even a thing like 10 years ago.
You're right about that.
If you really follow like in your heart, like which makes you happy, bro, and you can just keep doing it. Eventually, if you get good enough at it, bro, someone's gonna pay you to do it. So, and you will get good enough if you stick to it. Like, so yeah, I would just tell myself to just focus, man. Just believe in yourself, man. Trust in yourself. You're not crazy. Like your crazy ideas are usually like the best ideas to follow.
Right.
The hardest decisions are generally the right decisions. Yeah, man, just believe, bro. Just don't be afraid to follow your dreams, follow your heart.
I feel that.
That's probably the advice I would give to myself.
I think a lot of people listening, watching us can definitely learn from this conversation, especially like just going with your first mind and not letting other people influence how you view yourself or what you want to do with your life. So yeah, I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, me too, man. I love what you're doing with Vibes Krewe. I'll be watching. I watched the one with David last week, bro. That stuff was funny, man.
Yeah.
That's a funny dude, bro.
It is. You gotta.
That's a funny dude. That boy throw it off, bro.
We all gotta link up again and do another video once this.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
settles down.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I love what you're doing, man. Inspiring growth. It's good to, especially having like young people doing it, man. Because it's one of those things you hear all the time, like growth, get out your comfort zone, face your fears. Yeah. But like it kind of gets washed out because you hear it, but like when you do it, man, you realize like, oh, that's why everyone says it, because like it's true, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's different when you, instead of just seeing like a person on stage talking about, oh, you should feel like this, just seeing people have fun doing it.
It's just seeing regular people like you, like someone I just went to high school with is doing this, like, and you in medical school, bro. So it's like you really, like you inspiring, like in me, bro, and I'm sure other people too, like, because you like balancing both, man. That's huge. That's dope.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. This is Crew Talk episode 15. It's me and my boy Trent. We'll catch y'all in the next one.